Well, David just received a spam call and I missed it. I wish I had recorded that, but he said, "You don't know who you called?"
I say, "Speak to me.
Speak to me."
Speak to me.
And then he said, "Take me off your list." Do you understand?
He said, "Is this David?" I said, "You don't know who you called?"
Listen, when you're a boomer, and some of you younger viewers,
sometimes it's long.
We got a boomer-tude, but you may not realize this. When you get our age, you get all sorts of spam calls wanting to sell you something, and it's never ending. I received, David, I guess I received 4 a day.
Hey, that's not, is it on? Hey, it's fogged up.
I know it's foggy. I think I probably received 4 a day. And I just, and then I push the do not, I go there and I do not call anymore.
I do too, but
it doesn't work because they've got thousands of numbers.
But if it goes bleep, bloop, I automatically. Hey, listen, I want to tell you, show the ridge.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me clean up. I'm sorry, we turned the AC down real low last night.
Froze.
Yeah, it was great.
This ridge here, my daddy, when Brian was in junior college here, he lived with Mom and Dad, and Dad bought a Jeep.
Yeah, and I've got that Jeep now.
Dad was a car, and he bought it because he knew Brian liked them, and so they fitted it with off-road capabilities, very good capabilities of off-road. And they had a trail, they called it the Rockwood Trail.
Yep.
And they started somewhere like up in here, and drove that whole ridge. See that ridge?
That goes all the way to
off-road.
All to Chattanooga, actually. That ridge
actually
does.
It does.
Yeah.
But they took it to Rockwood and then exited it, and it was a rough trail. Well, I went on it with them once.
Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to head to Oakdale and try to pick up a few more sites, a few more stories, a few more locations. So I will turn this off right now. It's early morning.
We might stop right through Harriman when we start.
And then, like I said, this evening we'll be headed toward Knoxville. Okay. The old bridge here at Oakdale came across here. And this is where we would climb up over the top of the bridge as little boys, daredevils. But you can see this is the Emory River. It would be fun to tube down right now, I think. Those little shows there have always been there. But there was a bridge back in the 1920s. The 29 flood tore it down, so a lot of the foundations are from the 29 flood. Then the bridge that we knew came across here, and that there's where it came across. And you would turn real sharp and go up that way to this side of Oakdale. Right here, there's some old pictures. There was actually a movie theater. I think that's probably a foundation to the movie theater right there. We have a picture of Mama whenever she was a teenager. She was at a house right up here. That's not it, that's a newer home. But she was in this yard, and there's a picture taken back this way. She's on a bicycle. I'm going to see probably if I can go up there and see if I can actually see the yard. But that was also steps up to the house. David's going to walk out to where the bridge came across to this side. You can see if you look closely. But I'm telling you right now, I'd love to do rafting down this. Maybe a kayak. That would be fun. You say, well, you're too old. No, you're never too old. But you can probably understand why they call it the Emory. Actually, if you go further up the river, there's some areas up there that it actually is green. And I'm not real sure why. I know it's not any kind of pollution, but it's always been kind of an emerald green, and I don't know if you can see that or not. But there comes the train coming from the tunnel. We used to walk through a tunnel over there. But back in the day, it was the Southern Railway. Now it's the Norfolk Southern. See if I can film it coming through. No longer passenger trains, just strictly freight. Now, back in the day, this is where we went swimming. We would come around here, we would park in this curve. This was all brush. All that was just woods and brush. And you had to go down a little path, and this was our swimming hole. David is trying to figure out a way to get down there. Can you, or is it just too steep?
I'm sorry, we twisted ankle or something because there's too much under.
Okay, yeah, we can't do this. Because the river had come up and...
See, this has all been floods.
Okay, the story is, we'd walk down there. This was kind of a... What kind of beach would you call it?
It was like a little bit, it was sort of like that beach raised right there.
Yeah. It was very, not sandy, but soft. And of course that tree wasn't there, but it was kind of open there. And then you had to walk down, but not this deep. And then you would swim out in here. And there was a log that had been, a tree that had been blown over or washed over, and it was an old log that would come up, and that was our diving board. And all of our swimming was right in this area here.
Yeah, people would nail longer boards on the end of it, so it, but it was safe.
It was, excuse me, Dave. I think it was, it could have been right there because we used to swim across.
I think that was over there.
Yeah, it may have been up in here because we would swim across, and there was, we called it Eagle Bluff. And I'll try to get to where you can actually see the bluffs. I'm going to have to
But not
film.
only that, there would be rope swings you could swing out over the water and drop.
And the way Daddy would teach me to swim is, there were shoals, maybe two, and I'd get on his back.
First shoal,
second shoal, and he would he said, take a deep breath, son, and I'd take a breath. He'd go under, we'd come up until we got to the first shoal, then we'd stand up, and then we'd go under to the second. I never jumped off First Rock or Eagle Rock. You did, didn't you?
Robert, I don't remember doing it.
But you can see it's kind of deep right over there. But we'd climb up, and then I would jump off that first
I remember the rope swing. I'd do the rope swing.
But this was our swimming place.
But it was fun.
What's that going down there? What's that? Is that a duck? Geese? It's geese?
Here.
But you can see this river is beautiful. I mean, I would love to get on a tube right now and just go down there.
It's flowing.
It's flowing. It's beautiful. Now, where we put in, okay, we'll have to tell you the story about our raft. But our raft, we built a raft up at Grandmother Burris's house, put it together. We tried to float it in the water. It sunk straight down. Then somebody came up with the bright idea.
We used green wood.
Yeah, but somebody came up with the great idea of how about getting 2 oil tanks.
Oil drums.
Oil drums, I'm sorry. Oil drums, and slash them underneath, which we did. And then we came down and put it in the water, and it floated. Now, none of this was here. None of this was here. Where are you going, David? Oh, you're going to try to see if you see the bluffs? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, walk through here. But what we put in for our great raft adventure was at the end of this road. We'll go there next to see if we can see it. Somebody might come out and say, what are we doing? I'll cut off the film at that time. It's kind of different, isn't it?
It's hard to figure it out because I know we were over there.
That's what, but...
Yeah, we were over there, so we made the
So maybe the beach was up here.
Yeah, the path may have come
because it almost, you didn't go straight across to the bluffs, but at the angle. Again, our memory is a little bit faded, But that looks like shoals right there in the deep
Yeah,
part in the
yeah,
second
yeah.
shoal.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
right in here was
I
probably,
bet this was the beach. Because we had to walk a little ways.
I thought we walked more than just
Yeah.
straight down.
Now, do you see the kind of cinders type? That's what the beach was like. But David, I think you're right. I think it was right here.
See, and there, look, you can almost see the first.
You can see the
rock,
first
second
rock, second rocks. And then that's Eagle Rock is up there.
Yeah, yeah. And you can tell it's deeper by the color
Oh,
of the
yeah,
water.
yeah. And you'd always go and check and make sure there's nothing underneath there because you didn't want to jump down on an old log that had gone down there. But that's it. That is it.
Boy, that's fun.
But we had fun here.
Fun. And you know, you'd always bring a bar of ivory soap.
Yeah, because you
it floated.
yeah,
And you take a bath.
you'd take a bath. You'd take a bath. Oh my, David. What great memories. I'll tell you folks, right now it's so hot I feel like going down there and jumping in right now.
I do too. You want to?
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I'd go. I'd go.
I would too, man. I'd swim there right now. Okay, let's go see.
We may do it where we put the raft in because I think it's, if it's like I remember it, sort of level. We'll see.
Okay, David and I are now at the location where we are almost 100% sure that we put our raft in. It's at the very end of the road here. And then Uncle Bill had it in the back of his truck and he backed down. And then we put it into the water about right here. And as you can see, it was deep. It was clear sailing, David, right?
Oh my goodness, the first shoals is right there.
So we had a raft made out of bigger logs, and then on top we had thinner twigs that we nailed down so that we kind of had a platform. Okay, let's walk on down, David. And let me go back and lock my car.
I'm not.
Here, you walk down and talk about it. Be real careful.
All right. Well, this is. But you know, I don't remember how we secured or got the rope or whatever it is to secure the drums to our raft. But you know, they almost fit perfectly in where the logs we used were. And some way we secured them, but we had a wire basket that we made out of coat hangers, and we had Vienna sausage and cold drinks in the wire basket. Well, that was going to be our lunch, you know, because we knew we'd get hungry. So I think we had crackers in there too, because we had them, you know, sealed. They were sealed. Huh? Oh golly, I might have been 9, maybe 10. Robert was about 5 or 6. And well, we had it planned out. I mean, we had it planned. We were gonna make the news.
Actually, it was in the newspaper.
Yeah, it was.
Ahead of our trip.
But we didn't make it as far as we thought. But anyway,
we had a little cage that we made out. You told about that, and we had our coat hangers. We lost those on the first shows right here.
right down there.
Yeah. Now here, I'm going to tell this story. So we started going, beautiful.
Nice and deep. See, this is nice and deep.
Yeah, loved it. No, we went. We said, boy, this is sweet. Then we got to those shows. Let me see if I can focus in. But on those shows right there, so we got hung up and we had to take the tubs out, the barrels, and carry it across the shows and then get the barrels and put it on. But when we got hung up,
there were some old logs that the floods had, you know, they got stuck on rocks and they were there and they were rotten and all that.
Now let me tell the story, because I know this is embarrassing to you.
It's not.
Yeah, it should be.
Anybody would be scared of
No, we
spiders
should.
that big.
So no, yeah, there were little spiders the size of my little fingernail. But anyway, they were spiders. They were what we call water spiders. They skim the top, and they started getting on him. And David, my older brother, who I always really loved, emulated, he was my hero. He went down about 10 notches. He started jumping around like a little girl. And so my uncle...
Spiders all over me.
So did I. So did I.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
no,
I did.
You didn't. You were on the raft. You didn't even help us push.
I did. So at that point, I had to help. I had to. My Uncle John and I had to pick the raft up, and then we had to kind of carry David down through there, and then we got him on. But then we went on. We went around a couple of more curves, and David, we hit a couple of more shows, and then finally the raft broke up on us, and we had to walk back to the road and hitch a ride or call our parents to come, call Mom to come get us. But it still amazes me. We were young. I was 8, 9, David 13, 14, and Mom was perfectly okay. She believed her sons would be okay. And that built confidence in me. It really helped me, I believe, because we both knew how to swim very well. Boy, what a great memory. I'd like to do it again, David. Let's do it.
Hey, let's do it.
We'll build us a raft and do it.
I think so.
Not too loud. Might be dogs.
That's like Uncle Warhead.
They may have dogs.
Yeah. Look at that interior, Robert.
That's original.
That Oldsmobile's a coupe.
Yeah, this is what I'd want.
I'd want the coupe. The two-door coupe.
Okay. Be quiet. They might hear you. Did you take a picture?
Money just sitting here. Wow.
Well, it looks like another barn find, Adam. Old Buick. David said he thinks it's a 54. That's original paint. Original paint. In pretty good shape, it appears. Steering wheel looks like it's intact. That is really, really neat. Now this, they called it the Babahatchee Inn, but we always called it the Y. And I think that's what this is in 1905, the Y. But this is where men from the railroad would stay when they were switching train crews and so forth. They stayed at this. And there's a number of pictures of the Y, but it's located right across the tracks. And the way we would get there in the evening times, our big treat was, go ahead, David, what did we do?
We would walk from grandmother's or from our house, stroll in the cool of the evening, really.
Cool in the evening.
Dusk.
Yep.
And we'd walk up to the Y.
And of course, as little boys, what we would do, we'd pick up rocks along the way and we'd be throwing them at telephone poles or in the creek, you know.
Hand-to-eye coordination, you could get any stick and throw a rock up and pop it.
Oh yeah, it's like a baseball bat.
But we did that all the way up, and then.
But we'd walk up this way, and the way across, I think, is very close to the same as it is here.
But here's what there's a great memory about the Y. Mom would let us, the kids, the cousins, we could get whatever we want. We get a fudgesicle, a popsicle,
a little round pay of ice cream.
And you'd have a little
wooden spoon, little flat wooden spoon.
But I always liked the fudgesicles. But what used to irritate the snot out of me was we had a cousin, Linda.
Oh my goodness.
Linda was about maybe 2 years younger than me.
And 2 years older than me.
And she could make, mine would be nothing but a stick, and hers would be halfway gone. She would just.
Yeah, after we were finished, she'd still have it. But
that's just the way Lisa was prissy anyway. So.
But we'd walk across this, and then there was kind of a bridge, a wooden bridge, that you would walk across into, and then you would turn left, and that's where the men could eat. And to the right was a lounge area downstairs.
I never remember eating at the Y.
Oh no, I don't either. We just go up to the counter and get some kind of popsicle, ice cream, And then we would leave and we would come back and we would eat it on the way home. But I'm sure this is a memory that many people in Oakdale have.
And Robert will not have this memory, but I remember the, quote, bad boys in school. The rumor was the grocery stores wouldn't sell them cigarettes, but they could come to the Y and buy cigarettes.
No, I don't remember that. I was a good boy.
Well, I didn't buy cigarettes.
Are you sure?
But that's what they said they'd come over.
But
no, what we used to do is get rabbit tobacco and roll it up in newspaper and light it.
Yep, did that. Or you'd find an old corn cob, or corn cob, and you'd
corn silk.
Corn silk, or
brown corn silk.
Yeah. But now something else we would do that was always dangerous, but we would put pennies on the rail. I imagine every kid has done this, where we put pennies on the rail. Don't anybody do this, but a train would come by and they'd flatten it out, and then we'd poke a little hole in it, and we'd put a string and we'd put it around our neck. David, you're going to, no, that's against the railroad law. Okay, let's go.
Always my conservative brother, I don't think the pedal got over a fourth of the way to the floor. Hey, Robert, my turn. My turn.
No, I know what you'll do.
Oh.
In your memory, you can
my turn. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?